Kevin here. An interesting thing happened this week and got me thinking. An out-of-town client who's getting frustrated with the lack of resale inventory asked about new construction and do they need a realtor to purchase a newly built home? If this is a question you've asked yourself, or is this a question anybody's asked you? Stick around and hear the answer. Welcome to our channel. I'm Kevin Morris with South Florida Homes, Keller Williams. We're trying to grow our channel and would appreciate any comments you may have and if you would consider subscribing. If there's something you'd like to know more about, please drop us a note in the comments and we'll get back to you straight away. Should you use a realtor to buy a new home? After all, isn't buying a new construction easy? You walk into a builder's office, choose a model, sign the contract, choose the options, sign another contract, work with a lender, walk through your home before closing, close. It's easy, simple, right? Nah, not really. Since we're talking about using a realtor with new construction, first question, who pays the realtor? The realtor gets paid by the builder. It's in their marketing fee. Whether you hire an agent or not, the fee is there and it will not be removed, which means it's not negotiable to take it out to reduce the price of the new home. The agent, however, must be with you during your initial visit. If you do go visit a builder's model home, don't register or give your name or information. They're not going to ask you to leave if you don't tell them your name. They're not going to kick you out, not going to give you any information. I've had many clients not give their name upon the initial visit, but tell the builder I have a realtor and I will not provide information until he is there with me. The reason for this? Realtors sell over 70% of all new construction according to the National Association of Realtors. But what does that mean for you, the buyer? It means the agent has clout with the builder, especially if the agent is associated with a large national firm like Keller Williams. Statistics show that we will be back if the builder does a good job and takes care of you. Chances are when you're sitting down with the agent in the builder's office, they're going to start talking to you about their lender, their closing attorney, their title company, everything else, okay? The question first comes up often, should I just use the builder's lenders or should I use the builder's closing attorney? Maybe yes, maybe no, but what you should do to protect yourself is initially talk to a mortgage lender early. The interest rate being offered by the builder's preferred lender may cost you more money in the long run versus the compensation that the builder is willing to give you towards closing costs. Shopping around for a lender can create a competitive environment and make the builder's lender offer you a better rate. I recently helped a buyer with the mortgage options that was able to get my buyer a better rate as well as more closing cost assistance than originally negotiated. Realtors understand the mortgage process. Do you really want to finance with that garage door opener into your mortgage for 30 years? It will cost you 4 times the amount it would if you went to the local hardware store and purchased it there. Let's take a look at the closing costs associated with those mortgages. I've seen countless closing statements and know generally how much fees are for the processing, underwriting, etc. of a mortgage. If you're going to get a super duper interest rate, believe me, you are paying for it somewhere else. Nobody gives anything away for nothing. The federal government sets the interest rate. It's like buying a 2x4 at one hardware store versus buying it at another. Research and select your home insurance company. If you're building a home with a builder in Florida, it's important to ask about insurance for your home before you sign the builder's purchase contract. Homeowner insurance policies in Florida can be expensive compared to other parts of the United States because Florida is in a hurricane state and the topology of the state is flat, i.e. a lot of low-lying areas. There may be extra fees that you're not aware of. Flood insurance and additional insurance riders for storm damage to pools and fences. It's not uncommon for some of the areas in Florida to pay for at least 2 policies, which can equate to thousands of dollars. Also, you want to pay attention to the deductibles for hurricane damage. These are expenses that you do not want to find out about after the fact. If you're getting a mortgage, most lenders require the policies be included in your escrow and therefore could raise your house payment by hundreds of dollars. Asking your real estate agent about flood zones and obtaining few insurance quotes before you start could keep you from an unexpected hike in house payments. If you want to hear more about that, check out our video on homeowners insurance versus homeowner warranty. Contract the builder is going to use. Too many buyers get blindsided by the 30 to 130 page contract the builders are going to present to you. The builder's purchase agreements are written by the builder for the builder. It's a one-sided contract, meaning it leans towards their best interest. Knowing what you're up against before it's too late may save you from losing your deposit if things don't work out. I recently had a builder attempt to have my buyer sign an addendum that wasn't referenced in the original contract. That addendum could have cost them thousands of dollars and delayed the start of construction. The builder's agent also tried to tell my buyer that if the addendum wasn't signed, they could lose their deposit. That wasn't true. But remember, the agent works for the new construction builder, not you. Please, even if you don't hire a realtor to help you through the building process, just don't believe everything that you're told. Hire an attorney to review the builder's contract if you're not seeking advice from your realtor. Now that we've talked a little bit about the paperwork that you go through, let's talk about how the homes are constructed. As previously stated, since we live in a hurricane state, there are building standards that must be met. However, some builders will do the bare minimum to comply. Comparing builders just on price point may leave you a little disappointed after the fact. For example, not all electrical panels are created equal. Most of us use computers or have home offices. We use power on demand, which may mean your electrical breaker is going to trip every time you turn your printer on, or every time that you want to go to turn on your monitor. Speaking from experience, please believe me, ask and inspect. Find out the construction process and the materials to be used, such as wood studs versus metal studs. In addition, what type of material is the builder using for your plumbing? Don't take for granted that the county ordinance and the building codes will be good enough for you. I was surprised that one local builder was using plastic tubing for water instead of PVC pipes. It doesn't mean that the building practice is wrong, it's just something that you should be aware of before you sign the purchase contract. Now, the models. So we go look at the showroom. All those selections. Oh yes, the wonderful showroom that has all the options and all the upgrades, where you get to choose your cabinets, your flooring, even towel racks. Upgrades, upgrades, upgrades. Remember, upgrades equal dollar signs. But some upgrades do make sense. Doing a little homework about how much certain things cost, like a garage door opening from a hardware store versus paying for it in the new construction process, can keep you from losing a lot of money. Having your realtor there with you during the selection process can also help you determine the cost of some items and what can be done cheaper after you own the home. We can prepare a summary of values in the neighborhood and use that as a guideline for your improvements. Sometimes your agent will play devil's advocate too, or that little person sitting on your shoulder asking you, do you really want this? Do you really need this? Is it really worth it? One big question. Can I over-improve my home? Unfortunately, yes, you can. And this ties into the appraisal and resale of your home. Going to a builder's showroom and making upgrade selections can put you in a position of having a home that is overpriced should you ever decide to sell. You may not get your money back out of your home should you have to sell within a few years. Knowing what the average sales price is in that new community is crucial to the purchase of your new home. A real estate agent can provide you with sales data before you choose your selections. Don't rely on the showroom agent. They get compensated by the builder for all those upgrades they sell you. Let's face it, life happens, and although you think you're going to live in your brand new home for years and years to come, things do happen. Don't get stuck bringing money to the closing or getting back less money than you put down. I understand how easy it is to get so caught up in the wanting everything perfect. The builder's showroom is designed to be exciting, and of course, it's human nature to want nice things. Having a third-party realtor who works for you can put your perspective on your experience. Resale and appraisal. Some builders may ask you to sign a form that requires you to bring the difference between your appraisal price and the purchase price should your home not appraise. All those selections chosen by you in the showroom increase the purchase price of your home, and therefore your upgrades must appraise if you're going to get the mortgage. So be prepared to bring extra money to closing if this happens. Selections equal resale. Although you may have fallen in love with a dark chocolate tile to put in your bathroom, a real estate agent can at least advise you on the market resale. These things that are permanent or expensive to replace to be evaluated on an aftermarket resale. An agent has heard countless times from buyers looking at homes say, I really like that house, but we try to eliminate that but because it's where you lose money. Maybe you even have said that to yourself, which is why you want to buy or build new home. All right, we're almost there. We've gone through the paperwork, we picked our upgrades, we decided what we want to do, we've picked our style, everything. Construction has started, you've gone out, you've visited the home with your realtor on a regular basis, consistently to make sure things are going the way you want it to go. And lo and behold, you get that call from the builder that says, hey, your home is done, let's go to close. Wait a second. Everything may be done, but it may not be done to your satisfaction. What you need to do is what we call a punch out. And really, what's a punch out? It's like a walkthrough for new construction. New homes are made by humans, and humans sometimes make mistakes. Nothing is perfect, but sometimes they can be made better. When you buy a new home, the builder should be doing a punch out with you. At least when you work with a realtor, they will. An agent will attend the walkthrough with you with a trained eye and look for errors. It's the tricks of the trade we learn. For instance, I always take my shoes off and walk on the carpet on the outside walls of all the rooms. Why? Because it's where you will find the drywall remnants that were not swept up. It's where you find little bits and crumbs and things from the cuttings and everything else. The debris that will eventually show through and your flooring will wear on those spots. Why? Because where you will find the drywall remnants that were not swept up. That debris will eventually show through and on your flooring will wear in those spots. Home inspections on a new home, I definitely would. Some things that you may not realize. You may not know that the commission for the buyer representative is legally a part of the purchase price. If you're not going to use your own realtor, the builder simply receives an additional 3% from your purchase. Basically, it's free for you to use a realtor. Free. You may also not know that the builder is not required to have a licensed agent working for them, and many actually don't. When you hire your own realtor, you will be hiring a licensed agent who represents you, not the builder. Your realtor looks out for your best interest. The builder's agent or rep looks out for the builder's best interest. Sometimes the best interests are the same for the buyer and the builder, but just as many times they are not. Experience isn't expensive, it's priceless. Your realtor, who understands the ins and outs of home purchasing, can work on your behalf to negotiate a better deal, free upgrades, or simply whatever it is in your best interest. Most people wouldn't consider buying an existing home without a realtor to represent them. Therefore, why consider going through the even more stressful and complicated process of building a home without someone on your side? In many cases, you are committing to something that doesn't even exist yet. It can be very daunting going through the process of home building and dealing with the last minute changes and surprises. Buyers can avoid a lot of bad surprises with good representation of their own realtor. If you like this video and you found some useful information, please consider subscribing to our channel and check out our other video on Lauderdale by the Sea. Thanks, and take care until next time.